this is gonna be episode 3 because I actually lost the episodes we recorded.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know where those files went.
well,
Move this.
yeah.
Sometimes it be that way. OBS sometimes just decides you don't need those anymore. Uh,
You just kind of get rid of it.
yeah, pretty much. But
Right.
what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. So, I guess this time we could talk about well, obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake just came out today. Uh so that's something that happened.
Yeah.
Then Last of Us 2 actually got delayed.
All right.
Indefinitely due to well, I'm pretty sure everyone can figure that out. It got delayed due to yeah, reasons and things. Um but yeah, so that happened. Persona 5 Royale came out. Um Resident Evil 3 remake came out. A lot of people saying that that's not as good as the Resident Evil 2 remake was.
Huh.
Yeah, but I mean, Resident Evil 2 remake, they clearly spent a lot more time on, and Resident Evil 3 remake just came out like a year later. So
Yeah.
clearly, one of them was treated with a lot more reverence. Um.
Then there's Halo Infinite too.
Oh, geez, is that coming out this year?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in 2020 at some point.
Yeah, it sure is. Let's check. Halo Infinite. God, we still have no idea about anything about that.
Yeah.
Infinite.
And then there's
Uh,
also there's Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 is coming out too.
yeah, that one might that
Probably
one
pretty
might
good.
get yeah. Set to be released in late 2020. Yep. Uh, wonder how this one's gonna be. We've seen like nothing of it.
Yeah.
Uh, so well, we're not gonna learn anything at E3 2020 because E3 2020 got canceled.
Oh
There
well,
will
yeah.
not be an E3 this year, which is pretty wild.
Yep.
Yeah. So no E3 to like react to, get excited about stuff. I imagine companies will still do like video presentations around the same time. Like Nintendo probably will do a Nintendo Direct because they don't care. They haven't
Yeah.
like really done an E3 presentation in years.
Oh, Trevor, have you
Yeah.
heard of Psychonauts?
Yeah, what's going on with Psychonauts?
Yeah, a new Psychonauts game is coming out.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like. Actually, I believe that's gonna be like Xbox exclusive.
Oh,
Cause
really?
yeah, the that game is now that studio is now owned by Microsoft. Double
Oh,
Fine, right?
yeah.
Cause
Well,
that's what they announced like last year or the year before at E3. Like they bought Tim Schafer's company,
oh,
and he came out wearing an Xbox shirt, and he was like talking about how awesome it is to be owned by Microsoft. uh,
yeah.
in all honesty, I think he's just happy that a publisher picked up his shit. Cause
Yeah.
Tim Schafer, like he makes some great games, but usually their designs are like pretty antiquated.
You're kind of like
Yeah, old school.
a little bit. Yeah.
Cause he started out with point and clicks. Like what was it?
Wait a minute. Did you do the Exile games or
If what
or no?
he
Like, did
did
you do
Grim
the Mist?
Fandango.
Oh,
Grim Fandango is like the one I know him for because Grim Fandango is actually like pretty cool. Tim Schafer. Let's see what other games. Brutal Legend. Day of the Tentacle. Yeah, Monkey Island 2. Yeah. So he is the
And,
person I'm thinking of. Where he worked on like point and click adventure games and Brutal Legend, which was weirdly like a heavy metal inspired RTS. So that one was weird. It also had Jack Black as the main character. So
oh,
yeah. Apparently the game was
that's pretty
like
funny.
pretty good, but it was just marketed as a beat 'em up, and then it wasn't a beat 'em up.
Oh, so we
Like, which I
cheated.
didn't even know until like 2 or 3 years after the fact.
I haven't actually looked into Brutal Legend.
Yeah, I know that there's
Uh,
like unique items in TF2 for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then there's No More Heroes 3 is coming out too, right?
Yeah, holy shit, No More Heroes 3. That one's pretty hype actually.
I think I've seen a few
Yeah,
teaser trailers. For
the
that.
trailer came out in I think that was like earlier this year, I think.
Yeah.
Because I know that it was like a Nintendo Direct. There was a huge deal about like they showed like the pre-rendered trailer for No More Heroes 3, and then I think that comes out next year.
Yeah.
But No More Heroes is always really cool. So glad to see that series isn't dead after Travis Strikes Again. Or what was the last No More Heroes game that just kind of sucked? And it was like a twin stick shooter.
Oh, I don't even know about that. I just know about No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2. And
No More Heroes. Travis Strikes Again. Yeah, it was Travis Strikes Again. Which was the Jesus Christ? No More Heroes 2 came out 10 years ago.
oh yeah,
That's
that's right.
wild. What the
I
hell
was
did
looking at
Suda51 do for the last 10 years?
I was I was looking at like Dying Light, and it's like it was back in 2015.
Yeah, but like that
I mean
game.
that's more recent,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But I mean,
Initial release date 2020, so No More Heroes 3 will probably come out this year.
still, it's like
I don't know, Mike. A lot of games that are coming out towards the end of the year might get delayed just because of coronavirus.
yeah,
You know who I feel really bad for is the developers of Cyberpunk 2077 because, which is a game I will unfortunately be skipping out on for the channel
oh,
because
yeah,
they're experiencing crunch super hard right now
oh,
because the game was supposed to come out like this week, initially,
oh,
and
so
then they delayed it like 2 months ago in like February or whatever. They delayed it because Final Fantasy VII remake was supposed to come out last month and then got moved to this month to compete with Cyberpunk 2077, which honestly might have actually killed that game. One of those games would have been killed by Final Fantasy VII being out this week. Because I honestly feel
it's
bad
all
for
about
any game trying to compete with Final Fantasy VII remake.
yeah,
Because like it's such an iconic because Cyberpunk 2077 is like a game that a lot of people were hyped for, but
yeah,
Final Fantasy VII is also a game that's had 23 years worth of hype.
yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that game probably would have won. Um,
Yeah, like it's all about timing.
yeah, we'll never know at this point though. But yeah, we could definitely that definitely would have been interesting to see how they would have interacted if it would have been like a Overwatch Battleborn scenario where one just gets completely and utterly obliterated by the other.
Yeah,
Even though
I
Battleborn
feel like
should not have been destroyed because it is not even in the same genre as Overwatch, and
yeah,
their marketing
mm,
strategy of directly challenging Overwatch when they were not an Overwatch competitor at all, like, really fucked them over in the end.
yeah.
There's plenty of videos
'Cause,
out
yeah,
there
people.
explaining why Battleborn failed.
I guess you're right about that. Like
Yeah.
people like thought it was gonna be like like a first person like shooter team based kind of
Yeah,
game
it,
when in
it, it
reality,
marketed itself to be like a competitor of Overwatch.
because even for a second, like I thought that it was that way.
Yeah, like they definitely wanted to position themselves as a competitor to Overwatch, but in doing so, they were marketing themselves to the wrong audience because they were more their
Yeah,
audience was the League of Legend, Dota, Smite audience,
yeah, yeah.
but
It's like
they were appealing to the Overwatch audience, which Lord even knows what that audience was. Blizzard fans. They were trying to appeal to Blizzard fans. Because it's a shame too. Blizzard's kind of gone down the shitter. Meanwhile,
and
id
they're not
Software
bad.
is like just like once again reclaiming their throne as the king of video games, like that they lost in like the 2000s.
Yeah, yeah, they are coming back.
Like it is like someone made a really good point. I've been watching this YouTuber Civvy11. I would really encourage anyone who watches this video to go watch Civvy11. This guy makes great videos. He plays he does the old like antiquated video game review type thing where it's like oh playing games from the 90s and stuff, except he also
Yeah,
plays good ones and he has like he's just really funny, I think. And he's like really good at these games too. Um, like he's been
yeah,
playing Doom and Doom 2 and Duke Nukem 3D since they came out. Uh,
yeah.
so he's really good at them. He like gives you an overview of the plot and all that stuff. He's like at 100K subscribers. He's like pretty small time, but he's great.
Yeah.
Um, he just
Well,
uploaded a Duke Nukem 3D video today actually
no.
because he's going through the what's it called, the DLC pack for Duke Nukem 3D that came out like when Duke Nukem was still a relevant franchise before it vanished for 14 years.
Yeah.
Did you know Randy Pitchford
It's
of Gearbox worked on Duke Nukem 3D?
yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, and he was still an
No.
asshole. God, Randy Pitchford. Oh, so remember how I said Randy like give it like I think it was in one of the lost episodes. I said give it a few days. Randy Pitchford will fuck up somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right. Like last week or something, Randy Pitchford. It might have even been this week. I don't know. Randy Pitchford fucks up so many times an hour, it's impossible to keep track. Um, he told his employees to not expect the bonuses they were promised, and if
Oh
they weren't happy with that, you are free to quit.
man.
And this is all because we had to recoup the cost of development for Borderlands 3, even though Borderlands 3 sold like crazy units. It moved numbers like really hardcore.
Yeah, I'm looking up some stuff about this guy, and
Yeah, no,
like
Randy
seems
Pitchford's an
like a lot of people.
asshole. He's
Seems like a
awful.
lot of people don't like him. Yeah.
Dude's awful. It is getting to a point where I am avoiding games because Randy Pitchford's name is attached to him. He owns
There's a
Duke
video.
Nukem, and the only thing he's done with that character since Duke Nukem Forever is shove Duke Nukem into Bulletstorm.
And it's just like one of these like videos says Randy Pitchford tells workers not to expect bonus. Yeah, like it's
Yeah,
like one of
yeah.
the
Like,
videos.
is it by Jim Sterling?
I think. Oh, yeah,
Jim
yes,
Sterling's
yeah.
great. He's great too.
And then
Um,
yeah, then like there's another Jim
Young,
Sterling video.
yeah, yeah. No, Jim Sterling is talked about every time Randy Pitchford fucks up. He loves it.
Yeah.
Uh, Jim Sterling's a great content creator. Unfortunately, he did have a video where he's like, I don't want to only talk about the negative stuff in the gaming press. However, like that's what gets views, so that's what I'm kind of forced to do. But I actually thoroughly enjoy a lot of his content just because he's been playing video games for a very long time. He's a very good writer. He puts on a really entertaining show. I like pretty much everything he does. And I will admit, sometimes I've skipped over a video because well, typically when I skip over a video of his, it's because if he recommends a video game, I want to try and experience it first before I see him playing it. Like
Yeah.
if he says this game is really good, I'll be like, okay, I'll play that game and come back and see what he has to say about it.
Yeah, I
But
can't blame you there.
like if Jim
Um,
Sterling endorses a video game, I usually pay some attention to it.
Yeah.
Like I remember hearing him talk about Control right before Control just like exploded and just kind of ate the Game Awards alive because holy crap, Control ate the Game Awards alive.
what, what was Control again?
It was like it was by the same people who made what's it called? Quantum Break.
Oh.
It was like a weird hero superhero third person shooter game. Like I still don't know what this game is about. It came out like a month before the Game Awards or some shit and just ate the Game Awards alive. Like it actually just destroyed the Game Awards. It was pretty funny. Uh Also funny thing, I think what's it called? I know that a lot of people didn't like Death Stranding. I thought it was really cool. Like I was perfectly happy to play like a hiking simulator and like just roll with it because I just think that the world is that interesting.
Yeah.
And like people complaining, a lot of the people who complained about, oh, the balance didn't work. I had to carry too much shit. I every time I watch one of those people's gameplay, I was like, but you're not using like any of the shit that you can use to make this a million times easier.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's really
wait,
bothered me when I saw that.
like, can you upgrade your stuff?
Like you
Or
can get you can build roads, bridges, you can drive vehicles, you can load your equipment in the back, you can
oh
get
yeah.
these little hover platforms to stack your gear on and carry more. And if you get
Oh
two,
yeah, I
you can
remember.
tether two hover platforms together. You can stand on one, put all your stuff on the other, and then skateboard down hills,
Oh really?
which is like the
Wow.
coolest shit I've ever seen.
That man, I kind of wish I played this game now.
Yeah, like it's like it's so cool, and like you get robots that can
Oh,
help you carry stuff, and they're awful, they're horrible at their job, but they're really goofy. They're great. They're like reverse dwarf geckos. They're all feet and no hand. Yeah, they're great. I love them. But yeah. So Death Stranding kind of discounted itself from getting Game of the Year at the Game Awards because the host of the Game Awards was in that game.
oh
Yeah, Jeff Keighley was actually like a character in Death Stranding.
yeah.
But
That's pretty
yeah.
cool. You like,
So was Conan
oh
O'Brien actually. Oh,
oh
am I
wow.
lagging?
So there were like a,
Oh no, I'm
I heard you. I did hear you cut off.
not. Yeah. Well, I was saying that Jeff Keighley and Conan O'Brien were characters in Death Stranding, and with if Jeff Keighley had announced Death Stranding Game of the Year, I think Death Stranding was a good game if you're a fan of Kojima's games. Cause like I love
Yeah.
the like just crazy inane BS.
Yeah.
For
Like
me, like
the
that's what Kojima games are about.
yeah. And I to be honest, I kind of like that sort of stuff too, where like you get crazy
Yeah,
abilities and stuff.
yeah, like everything in Death Stranding is pretty like grounded until you get to like I will admit it does like have an insanely crazy story, and like I love the visual aspects of it. I understand why some people wouldn't enjoy it, but I also thoroughly enjoy Fallout games where like the world is like damn near empty. Um,
Mhm.
like I discovered I recruited every single settlement in Fallout 4 to the Minutemen, so believe me, that like Death Stranding was the exact kind of game where I was like, hell yeah. So
Yeah.
that's my stance on Death Stranding. I thought it was a great game. I thought it was perfectly fine. I understand why people wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
It definitely isn't what I expected. But I think it's fine. I don't think it was Game of the Year material. I still don't think it should have won Best Soundtrack of the Year because Devil May Cry 5 came out in 2019, so Devil May Cry 5 should have stolen
Oh,
that award because like Devil Trigger, Subhuman, the in-game version of Subhuman was much better. The original version of Subhuman was Ooh boy, it was awful. And then what's it called? And then God, V's theme. I think it's called Hellfire or something. That
Yeah.
that 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 song is also great. Just Devil May Cry 5 had it had a banger of a soundtrack. It kind of makes me sad that apparently Resident Evil 3 remake is not like as good as people hoped, because that kind of means that Capcom is like they peaked last year and they're on the way down now. Hopefully they
Yeah.
can bounce back with other titles this year,
Yeah.
because it's speculated we'll get Street Fighter 6 soon.
So, hear anything new from EA?
EA is a disaster. Uh, and every day that goes by without me seeing EA pop up on my radar is a good one. Like it, I mean, granted EA is like closed right now because coronavirus.
Yeah.
But it is never a good, like whenever I see EA, like usually it'll be like Jim Sterling, Young, yeah, Legacy Kill HD. They'll be talking about them, and I'm like, oh boy, what did EA do this time? And then like when Jedi Fallen Order came out, they were like, yeah, it's really weird. I have good things to say about an EA game. I don't know how to feel about it. And then EA, obviously, they killed Apex Legends. They murdered that game. They took it out back and shot it. That game got absolutely executed. Because that game, it wasn't for me, but like I recognized that it was good. It was real good. It could have been the new Fortnite, and then they just stopped doing things with it.
So you just kind of abandoned it?
Yeah,
Wow.
like they straight up murdered that game, and there's no two ways about it. They killed that game.
Man. Fuck EA.
Like it was ridiculous to see how that game went from getting a crap ton of praise and everything to nobody talking about it.
Yeah.
Like it is really crazy to me how fast that game went that way.
Like,
So, yeah.
yeah, don't. If you're a game developer, don't go to EA for
Well,
publishing.
the thing is, the EA Originals program is good. It's very good. It's what gave us games like A Way Out. And EA sees no profit from the sale of those games published under EA Originals. However, it does pretty much mean that if you try to go get your game published by another studio, EA can just buy you,
Yeah.
because it's like first rights to buying the company. So that's
Yeah.
how that's why you asked me how is that system profitable to EA. That's how buying IPs and running them into the ground, as EA has always done. Rest in peace, Command and Conquer.
Yeah, that really is a shame.
And Sims and Spore and yeah,
Oh,
SimCity,
yeah.
and literally anything made by Origin Studios, Ultima, uh, Star Wars Battlefront,
There's Dead
like the
Space
good
too, right?
Burnout is owned by EA,
Oh.
but they don't make it anymore because it's really interesting. Burnout actually would probably still get made if it wasn't for the fact that they'd have to like use all original car designs or not use any name brand cars, because no car company wants to have their car advertised in a game where you can smash it into a billion pieces. So that's why Burnout is kind of a dead franchise right now. Yeah. It's like all the music licensing problems in like re-releases of San Andreas, but worse.
Yeah.
Because like for those of you who don't know, San Andreas has literally never been re-released with its original soundtrack intact, because obviously music licenses eventually expire, and Rockstar doesn't want to renew those music licenses every year for a game they'll maybe re-release once every like 5 years.
Yeah.
So like it's on PC, and I don't think they're gonna
Mhm.
release it for more platforms from here on out. Because I don't even think San Andreas is playable on like Xbox One, PS4. I don't think it's playable. Maybe it's playable on PS4,
I don't know.
just as part of the backwards compatibility crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that
Like,
we'd care. You have a PS2.
yeah.
You have a PS2, you have San Andreas, and the poster is still on your wall. Or did you finally take it down?
Actually, I took that down.
Yeah, a while ago, huh?
Yeah.
It's a shame. That was a good poster. Did I ever give you that Skyrim poster?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did it. Just like a huge map of Skyrim.
Yeah, it was I actually won that in a Smash Bros tournament. My prize for it was like it was a free entry, no cash prize tournament, and my prize was like I got like a bunch of video game posters. So I got a Doom 2016 poster, I got a Skyrim poster, and I got like a Fallout 4 poster.
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, so jeez. But yeah, EA,
Yes.
haven't heard anything about them. Last of Us 2 getting delayed indefinitely kind of sucks, but I definitely appreciate that the devs are putting their safety first. Uh,
Yeah.
Also, this could be
For
really, really good for a lot of developers. What I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about is, while yes, like it is really stressful, the fact that these games are getting delayed because of the pandemic, it could be meaning that a lot of these developers are getting some well-deserved rest, and when they come back, their productivity will be at an all-time high.
yeah.
Like, I would not be surprised
Get
if this
overworked.
if this next year EA's games get like a lot better. It would not be surprised. Although like the gaming industry is currently pretty much in the toilet. Cause yeah, no one has jobs.
Yeah.
And Randy Pitchford certainly isn't helping. God damn it, Randy. You're such an asshole. Leave an unencrypted drive with information about the plans for Borderlands 3 at a fucking medieval times with porn on it. Yep. Go ahead, Randy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude's such a dick. But
What about the indie games?
indie games. That would be something we should ask Abe about, but Abe is not like here right now. But World of Horror is a good indie game. What's it called? Other indie games. He was playing this game called Last Oasis, which is apparently like super cool. If I had him on, I'd have him explain it. But indie games are probably doing pretty well right now, just because a lot of them are one-man teams anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't imagine that they're being hurt too badly by the pandemic. And then there's Edmund McMillan out there, just indie game god himself. That dude's a hero. Creator of Super Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac. That guy's a hero.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yep. Well, no, I'd say Yacht Club is probably the king of indie games right now because they made Shovel Knight.
Huh.
So, the developers for Skullgirls are pretty great too. Way Forward, also a pretty big indie company. Literally anything Devolver Digital has put out. The actually Katana Zero. I remember I was showing you how sick Katana Zero was. If you have not played Katana Zero, play Katana Zero. That game is sick. It is really, really good.
Yeah.
I remember it was when I got my paycheck that one time, and I was like, I bought For the King instead of Katana Zero, and on my next paycheck I bought Katana Zero, and I was like, I should have bought this game first. Because For the King, great game, but you gotta be able to sit down with a couple of friends for like 3-4 hours to play it. Like, that game's brutal. It's long. It's very slow. Katana Zero is like a 3.5 hour game. And it's super action packed, and it's gonna get a huge DLC pack for free. Because the developer was like, this game sold so stupidly well that I was able to triple the size of the DLC, and it's still gonna be free. And I was like, hell yeah, more Katana Zero. God, that game is so good. It should be illegal for a game to, it's also really weird because the only thing that guy's really done beforehand, I looked up his previous work, he did just like browser games.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he did like Flash games. It was really weird. And then
Yeah.
he just made Katana Zero, and he tweets out Katana Zero memes on Twitter all the time. It's great. Like when the Area 51 raid was coming was going on, it was like only one person shows up to raid Area 51, and then it was the U.S. military. Like yeah, and then it just shows the main character of Katana Zero, and the U.S. military.
Well, yeah.
Only the dragon shows up to raid Area 51. Everyone dies.
Just, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like,
Katana Zero's got like a super sick premise where you don't actually play through the levels. You play through your character's
yeah,
plan for the level,
yeah. He's
and
got
then you
like
see your
extreme
your
precognition.
your thing go full circle, and like all the crazy shit that you do in like full speed. It's like Super Hot. Super Hot does the same thing, where you play through the level in slow motion, and then you at the end you see like full speed what it looked like.
Yeah.
Katana Zero, fantastic game. I will plug that game any chance I get because that game is amazingly good. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah. I mean, the gameplay that I watched looked pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic game. Next time we hang out, I still have it on my Switch because I'm never deleting that game. Also, Hollow Knight, I believe just got new DLC. Hollow Knight, another fantastic Metroidvania style, like almost Dark Soulsy game. It's like it. I don't want to say it's Dark Souls like, but that's like kind of the closest thing to it. It is like
Yeah.
it's got a Souls like play style, but it's also like a Metroidvania. Um, so like when you die, you lose all your currency. You have to go back to where you died to retrieve it. That sort of deal. But
Yeah.
yeah. So it's got like the Dark Souls like beats, but it also plays like a Metroid or Castlevania game, and it's super sick.
Oh. Yeah. It's cool.
Yep.
Actually.
Uh, man, what other things are going on in gaming right now? Oh, I finally finished Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh.
That game is amazing. I know that a lot of
Uh,
people are gonna like the common complaint is that the combat is super repetitive, which yeah it is, but it's Dragon Ball. Like, come on, every fight is decided by one of like 6 moves.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
Oh God, I put like 30 hours into it,
Uh,
which is like yeah about right if you're going through all of Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
Like even oh man,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
Vegito fight was so good. The Vegito versus Super Buu fight was so good. I mean, I know you don't know Dragon Ball, so like I'll save you spoilers. Um, maybe like once we hang out again, we can actually stream the rest of the rest of that game.
yeah.
I'll turn off the music and we'll figure something out. But
So we don't get for like
yeah, so the whole
viewers.
6 hour stream doesn't get muted for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like yeah,
And
10
then Twitch
seconds
didn't
or
even like
something.
have ways for me to dispute the muting because it's like oh if it's in-game audio that got you muted you can't dispute the like muting and I was like what. And what bothered me is it wasn't even like Namco Bandai or Toei Animation, the people who own Dragon Ball and made the game that claimed the song. It was the person who wrote the song who claimed it. I was like what the hell. Oh boy.
How do they like how does like the or like the streaming service like kind of at
What'd you say?
but
Oh, how did
or
Twitch
how
handle
does the stream
the copyright claim? Well, what they did is they literally just turned off the all audio for the entire video.
yeah but I guess it's just like automated right
Yeah, it might have been an automated claim by the guy's record label. I don't know. It
yeah
was all in Japanese, so I don't know who.
yeah yeah it's like
The name was in romanized characters, but I couldn't read the rest of it. It was all in Japanese.
yeah
So yeah, but I'm not
you just see like the
too upset
phonetic
about it. It's like whatever.
okay
Um. Oh boy. Then there's oh man. Oh, I've been screwing around in Sonic Adventure 2. I downloaded a program that lets me edit Chow.
Oh,
So
so you could
I created an ultimate God King Chow, yeah. But also I discovered a lot of really interesting stuff. Like there's unobtainable Chow in Sonic Adventure 2,
oh,
like that are still in the game, but the last time you were able to get them was 17 years ago
oh,
in Japan. But they're still in the game, and that's not even like a weird thing of like it came out on PC, GameCube, and everything at the same time, because Sonic Adventure 2 was released on Steam in 2012.
yeah.
So why even keep those Chow in?
I don't know.
Also, I learned that Sonic Adventure
Okay.
2 on PC is actually not the way is actually very different from the Dreamcast version. Apparently the Dreamcast version plays very differently. So I might have to look into that someday. Like there's a couple of websites that detail all like the differences and how like in the port to PC, GameCube and all that, a lot of the like some of the levels are just worse.
Yeah.
And I struggle to think of how Mission Street could be any worse than it is, but uh so oh
Oh
boy.
God.
Man, I used to hate Pumpkin Hill, but now I think it's one of the better levels in the game.
You know, you could have to play Mission Street and have to destroy all the artificial chaos in
Jesus
Mission Street.
Christ. No, Mission Street doesn't have any of those. It's all gun robots.
No, I'm saying that's how I could.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It just turns into you open up Mission
Yeah.
Street and it loads in Lost Impact.
Yep. No, it's got like all the falling platforms, but at the same time
God.
you have to like kill like the artificial
35
chaos, and
artificial chaoses in a different game.
you have to like just do it before all the
You have to have save data for Shadow the Hedgehog on your memory card. Never mind the fact that Shadow the Hedgehog didn't come out on the Dreamcast.
yeah. Yeah, no. Here's how it would work. You'd have to use the save data to use the teleporting checkpoints in order to go back.
You'd have to go all the way back to Sonic Adventure 2.
But if you didn't have save data for Shadow the Hedgehog,
You just can't win.
the checkpoints wouldn't be
Never
there.
mind the
No.
fact that Shadow the Hedgehog came out in 2005 and Sonic Adventure 2 came out 4 years earlier. But you know what? Yeah, sure. Because I think it was
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2, then it was Sonic Heroes, then it was Sonic Riders, I think actually came in between.
They do it specifically like for a remake or something.
Was it Sonic Rider? Because I think Sonic Riders came between Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog. Because I know Shadow the Hedgehog was 2005, and we all know what happened the year after that.
Oh yeah. Pool ball puzzle.
Release date was it was in 2005. So when did Sonic Riders come out? Because Sonic Riders on the GameCube is a really good game.
Huh. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
apparently Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. Oh no, Sonic Riders came out in '06 as well. What? What?
Huh.
Oh, because it only came out for last gen games. It was the last it was probably the I think it was the last Sonic game that was released on that generation of hardware. It was way better than the other Sonic game that came out that year. There's actually a dude out there who's actually insane and is remaking Sonic 06 from the ground up in Unity without any of the
Oh
original
man.
models or source code. And
That's
he's
crazy.
just rebuilding the game and fixing it. And
Mhm.
he's like insane. And the reason why he's doing it is because he never got the chance to play the game himself. Because
Wow.
it was just never put up for sale in his country, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm just gonna make the game then."
Well, that's
And I'm just like,
ridiculous.
"This dude's wild. he's remaking the worst Sonic, one of the worst Sonic games. It's not the worst anymore because at least that one is functional. Sonic 06 is not the worst Sonic game anymore. It hasn't been since the late Xbox 360 era. Because the worst Sonic game is Sonic Free Riders.
Oh, God.
Because that game actually doesn't work. I
got
don't know.
people
I heard
playing
Sonic
Free
Drift is pretty bad
Riders.
too. Well, it's a
Hasn't
Kinect game.
been- Oh, Free Riders?
Yep. Because there was Sonic Riders and Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, which were good games, and then they made Sonic Free Riders, which killed the Riders franchise.
Wow.
Which really
Okay.
sucks because Sonic Riders was actually like super cool.
It has a 47% on Metacritic.
That's way too high. That game actually doesn't work at all. Because it's not just a Kinect title, it's an early Kinect title.
Oh, no. Oh, here's a review.
Alright, hit me with it.
It's a very good game. Graphics are good and run smoothly and swimmingly and tastefully. One thing I do have to say is that Sonic doesn't respond when you shriek at him.
Yeah. So,
Weird also.
from what I've
Weird
seen...
also,
Yeah, go ahead, go
Shrek
ahead.
Yeah, weird. Also, the Shrek reskin isn't that good, but overall, an amazing game.
The Shrek reskin.
I've
That's
played
great.
$2. It's my favorite game.
Oh,
And I've had
Jesus.
so many good memories in the middle. I rate this 2 out of 5.
Yeah. Well, from what I've seen, the game doesn't have, like, performance issues. It just doesn't play. Like, it runs fine, its graphics look fine, it's just its
But, yeah,
controls suck mad dick.
Yeah, because
It's a Kinect game. It's an early Kinect game, and no, there was never a good Kinect game. You can't prove me wrong. No, Just Dance was alright. Because Just Dance, like, Just Dance is like Just
Okay.
Dance I've never played, but like, listen, if that game is getting released on the Wii to this fucking day, like Just Dance 2019 was on the goddamn Wii.
Yeah.
And that's insane. The Wii is still getting supported by Ubisoft, of all people.
Yeah, just the original Wii.
Like, and the reason why is because Just Dance is the highest selling series on the Wii, and a lot of people like just play those games on the Wii, and it's a game that's not targeted at like people like you and me who play things like Doom and stuff. It's targeted for
Yeah.
people who just want to play the dancing game with their family.
Yeah, it's like a.
And why wouldn't you just use the console you've been playing since 2006 to just keep playing Just Dance, and instead of buying an Xbox and a Kinect, even though I don't even think Just Dance has been released on an Xbox console since 2006. I don't think it's been. What did Just Dance 2019 come out on? I think it came out on the Switch somehow.
Really?
Yeah. Came out on. Oh God. All right. Came out. Oh wow, on the Nintendo Switch, Wii U. What the fuck? There's a game released in. Oh, that came out in 2018 though. Okay. No, but it came out on the Switch, so the Wii U had already been discontinued. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox 360. Ubisoft. What are you doing? I'd understand like putting it on the Wii because that is your target audience, but the Wii U and 360 are so dead. Actually, no, the 360 has still got like an active community.
Yeah.
Because
Does
like,
anyone? So no one plays like the Super Smash Bros. on Wii U.
oh, there's
anymore?
people who still play it, and believe me, it's just as degenerate as it's ever been.
Oh boy.
It is rough. It is bad out there, man. Because let me tell you, all those people, they're still playing For Glory Link. They're still playing Bayonetta. And not
It's not.
moderately annoying Smash Ultimate Bayonetta. They're playing busted beyond all belief Smash 4 Bayonetta with Wi-Fi lag, so you can't even SD. Oh god, I hate. Like Smash 4, I think controlled better than Ultimate, but Ultimate I think is a better game,
Yeah.
just because like it's more balanced. Also, you kind of adapt to the jankiness of Ultimate's controls because they're not good. They're not good. Ultimate has some really rough controls, but
Yeah.
like there's this video that this
I
guy put
mean,
out a couple like 2 weeks ago or something called "The Competitive Failings of Smash Ultimate,"
yeah.
and I would definitely recommend you give that video a watch because it did make me realize there's a lot of things wrong with Smash Ultimate. I still think it's my favorite Smash game, but it's got its problems. It's got some serious shit going on.
Yeah. So like, it's a game that's fun, but like a game
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
a
the
great
best.
game, but like if it had the controls of Smash 4, then I think it would be the best Smash game because Smash 4 controlled very, very well, very fluidly. Where the only reason Smash Ultimate controls fluidly is because we've brute forced it to.
Yep.
We've literally just gotten used to the whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the video?
The competitive failings of Smash Ultimate. Very interesting video. Goes into a lot of the technical aspects of the game. Definitely would recommend watching it. I've had a lot of time to find a lot of really interesting stuff on YouTube. Yeah, Civi11 also definitely give him a look. The guy's great.
Yeah.
Especially because he openly admits that the plot of his show makes no sense, specifically to make people who try to assemble a timeline really angry
Yeah.
because there is no point. There's no point. So yeah, so I like him. He's really fun. Uh, yeah, but as far as gaming news goes, obviously this is gonna be a pretty slow time because like
Well, yeah.
like nothing's
Like
happening.
everyone's. Yeah. Nobody, like, not a lot of people are at work.
Yeah, not a lot of people are at work. I mean, Final Fantasy VII sold out at the GameStop near our house.
Wow.
Like it's completely empty. They do not have any more copies.
Man.
Um,
There's
because Abe
demand
was gonna
for it.
buy it and he was gonna stream it today, but he
Oh.
could not.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. Um, yeah. So
Like, it, things are.
yeah, I started playing Cry of Fear again. I don't know if I'll ever upload that.
Oh,
Probably not.
yeah. I was playing Gmod
Dude,
earlier
Gmod's a
today.
great game. That's a game we could play together, but I'd have to install that game.
Yeah.
And I'd probably also have to even if I tried to use the version that's on my like my desktop right next to me, I'd probably have to go through like 3 gigabytes of updates.
Yeah.
I haven't updated Team Fortress 2 in a while. I imagine that game's a mess again.
I actually have not played TF2 in a while.
Yeah. I mean, the game's fun and all, but like it is not the game we had a lot of fun with anymore. It is a very different game out there.
Yeah.
Like
I
we
was
had a
more
lot
like,
of fun with it back when the soda popper was like super broken, like unabashedly broken.
I kind of miss when like more people were playing it too. Like, I
Yeah,
miss a lot of
Overwatch kind of
people.
murdered that game, and we're not gonna get a Team Fortress 3. There's not a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Half Life. We technically got Half Life 3. we technically fucking got another Half Life.
Yeah.
So who fucking knows what's coming next? Cause we got another Half Life. That one's weird. Uh, And apparently
Yeah.
it's good. It's apparently really good.
No. Yeah, it is. Like, I remember
Which,
like
like, I'm
it's
astounded that any writers are still at Valve. Because Valve hasn't, like,
no
made
longer.
video games since, like,
Yeah,
Left
so
4 Dead
like it
2.
really is. Yeah, it is surprising. Because like the thing is like I was actually kind of worried because like a lot of VR games were just kind of like
Well, I mean,
they
there's,
were
there's,
quite
oh
down.
man, dude, best VR game at the Game Awards was a joke category. Like, Beat Saber was there, and I was like, why,
Uh-oh.
why do you have a category?
Yeah.
I just looked at it. I
Like
was like, why is this even a category? Of course, fucking Beat Saber's gonna win.
yeah, like were you ever like demos or like exercise games, you know?
Yeah, but Beat Saber's actually like a really good game. Like Beat
Yeah.
Saber's really really good. Gorn VR, pretty great. That's like a crazy like bloody arena fighter where apparently that game looks really fun to play. There's Pistol Whip is a really cool one. It's in the
Oh,
same vein as Beat Saber, but you get pistols and you have to shoot
I've seen that.
enemies and stuff and dodge their bullets. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. All right, yeah, that does sound cool.
Yeah, and you get crazy like dubstep music. It's awesome. Um, I mean, I guess Super Hot VR is pretty sick, but
Oh,
Super
yeah.
Hot is already a game that was already super sick like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
God, when that proof of concept game came out for Super Hot, I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's like one of those great stories of like a game that literally got made because YouTubers.
Yeah.
Like there's so also I want to take a minute to talk about Yandere Simulator and the fact that I now firmly believe that that game will literally never come out
Oh.
because that game there's two really great videos by Kappa Kaiju about Yandere Simulator, and he actually has some basic knowledge of coding, and he looked at it and he looked at the code of the game and he was like, I think that this game is 3 to 4% done, and it has been in development for 6 years.
Wow.
Not to
So
mention
okay.
that when when they Yandere Simulator Yandere Dev partnered up with Tiny Build, who was literally like, we will fix your shit and finish your game, and he was
So
partnered with them for all of 2 months before he broke their partnership and licensed the characters from Yandere Simulator to a porn game.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
like
weird.
it's and now he's selling like body pillows of the characters in like various states of undress. It,
So
it's it, it's
basically just
really really
like
fucking weird.
what the heck?
Also, he's never he also like has some really hot takes on the age of consent. So if you follow Yandere Dev, unsubscribe from him. Stay far away from that guy. He's like actually a scumbag. Um, and he's stringing people along. Just the only reason Yandere Simulator continues development is because he's getting paid on Patreon too.
Huh.
Because that game should have been done years ago. You know what other game took like 6 years to make?
Oh, which one?
Doom 2016.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that game is really good.
Mm,
You know what game took 4 years to make?
yeah.
Doom
Which?
Eternal.
Yep.
Like, and Doom Eternal
Yeah.
is like honestly game of the year contender already.
Well, have you heard of Batman Arkham VR?
Yeah, that game was alright.
Like you could beat up people and, like
Yeah, it was
first
it, it was
person.
it was kind of a bare bones Batman like VR experiment. Unfortunately, it is canonical and important to the plot of Arkham Knight.
Oh.
Yeah.
So okay. So it's still relevant.
Yeah, it is a canonical and relevant entry to the Arkham franchise. Also, it looks like Rocksteady is making a new Batman game, but we don't know what about yet. Probably Court of Owls,
Oh,
which is pretty cool. I'd be down for it.
yeah.
As long as we don't have to play 2/3 of the game in the fucking Batmobile.
Hopefully not.
I don't know. I still to this day do not understand how the same people who made Arkham City made Arkham Knight. And how do you make the Batmobile unfun to use? Like I
Just
will never comprehend how some of the people who made one of my favorite games of all time made one of my least favorite games of all time 3 years later.
yeah. They made it like
Cuz
too
Arkham
slow.
City was so good.
Yeah.
It was perfection.
Yeah.
It
Arkham
was
Knight.
Arkham Knight was just awful.
Yeah, it's just like slow and repetitive. The
Yeah, like,
Batmobile part.
and to some extent, some parts of like Arkham Asylum were that way too, where like it would get really rough, where you go through stealth section, open next door, stealth section.
Yeah.
Like some parts of the
That's
Arkham games have always been like that, but Arkham City was like the perfect balance.
yeah. Like like they switched it up the most in that.
Yeah, it was just the perfect balance of stealth and awesome combat.
Yeah.
I still think that the stun stick is the worst thing that's ever been put into the Arkham games. No, the
What about
lunatics, the
what about
lunatics.
yeah? I was about to
Oh my god, the
mention that.
lunatics. Actually, the stun sticks and lunatics are like right up there in terms of like why
Didn't you need like a special takedown in order
you
to counter
needed
them?
to do a grounded takedown to keep a lunatic out of combat. Uh,
Wow.
it is no surprise that that enemy type never returned to the series.
It's
Uh,
like you'd like get one off. Like the thing is, like
and they did
when
so
one
much
bomb
damage.
you, yeah, like if there's like just like a third of your health bar, unavoidable,
Yeah,
just gone.
just gone.
And then
Yeah, they're
when you
pretty
get
fucked.
then like you'd get one off of you, and then another one would jump on you.
Yeah, but
It's brutal.
Arkham City, like, I get why they put like shield enemies and stun stick enemies into the game. It's so that you're not just mindlessly mashing the X button.
Yeah.
It's like to make you pay attention and think about what you're doing. But the blade enemies also do that and are way more natural
Yeah.
because you get like you do the blade
Like,
dodge takedown and it's super sick.
yeah. Yeah, with the stun sticks, you have to like do
You
the
have to like
triple stun.
you have to
Thing.
stun them, then you have to flip over
Yeah.
them, then you have to punch them in the back of the head, and you have to like do
Yeah.
disarm and destroy takedowns. Which like the stun sticks and the shields are the only reason disarm and destroy is like even in the game. Cause like, oh, but the enemies can pick up guns in some of the beat 'em up sections. Well, if you're playing the game well enough, that should never be a problem. if if you're playing Arkham City and one of those guys gets the chance to open that gun case, you deserve to get shot
Yeah.
because it takes them like 12 seconds to do it. It takes them a couple seconds, and you can leap across the entire battlefield to punch their shit out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and isn't there like an alarm that goes off too when they're
Yeah,
like
you know
landing it?
exactly when someone's doing it. Like,
Yeah.
granted, some points in the game when you're fighting like Mr. Hammer, I think there's one point where you're fighting one of like a lieutenant enemy, and there's a gun crate, and that can be a little difficult. But the solution is knock out all the little guys and then deal with the big dude.
Yeah.
Like it's such a like I won't say that Arkham Knight didn't have its moments because like that boxer fight was sick as fuck. Um
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
like
that
the
one.
Joker fights were super cool. I love those.
Well,
But
then,
like the tanks, dude.
yeah,
Like I get that they had a large variety of tank enemies to like keep it fresh and mix it up, but it just wasn't fun. It was not fun.
yeah, it ended up, yeah, like,
It just
yeah,
became repetitive. It would
yes,
have been
it was
cool if we got to do it
very
like
slow,
3 or 4
frustrating.
times throughout the game.
is like slow, frustrating gameplay.
Yeah, if we did it like 3 or 4 times throughout the game, like maybe 5 or 6, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. But
And then
it's like
and then
every there were segments where it was tank mission, drive to next tank mission.
yeah, no, that's terrible, man.
Like I would have been fine with it
Just
if it wasn't like half the gameplay.
yeah, like I mean, there was other stuff to do too, like there were chases and stuff.
Yeah,
It'd be
but
cool if there's
like if we
race
had more
gameplay.
chases in the missions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like chasing down the bad guys in the Batmobile and ramming them off the road. That would be way cooler.
yeah. Instead of like
Like
10
yeah,
battle simulator.
instead of
Mhm.
literally anything with the tank.
Yeah.
When we finally got rid of it, Batman just called in another one. But your car's destroyed. Now I've got another. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It
God,
just has an
that
automated
really
feed.
pissed me off. I was like, yes, we're finally free of the tank. Oh wait, he has another.
Yeah. It's like you're supposed to
We
be
had
like
like
super
2 more
excited.
tank segments there.
You're supposed to be super excited
I
that you
was
got
like,
the Batmobile back.
no, no. I've
Yeah.
never felt less like Batman than sitting in a tank shooting robot controlled tanks.
How would Batman feel the Arkham games feel
Uh,
if you had the Bat wing?
they'd feel like Arkham Origins, where the fast travel is arguably about as fast as not using it. It's really
Oh,
bad, man.
you mean like so the loading screens are that bad or something?
I think my longest time getting a loading screen in Arkham Origins for the for the fast travel was like a minute 45.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Wow, that's
and
really couldn't
I
handle
was
the
like,
full
I
city.
literally could have just not done this, and I could have been there by now, and I
You
would
would
have
have
had
had more
way
fun.
more fun. But you
Yeah,
have to use the fast travel in that game because there's snipers everywhere.
yeah. Oh god.
God, the unholy amount of snipers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Like Arkham Asylum was a decent game. It was great when it came out because we had no other point of reference. Like
yeah. Like
it was really good when it came out. Now it's just kind of decent.
yeah.
I
There's
do
like
like if
there's
you're gonna
broken
play
up.
Arkham Asylum, play the Return to Arkham because it fixes a couple of my major complaints with the game, where the timing for some of the stuff was different in Arkham Asylum than it was for the rest of the series, because critical strikes had different timing and counters had a slightly different timing, and that has changed in Arkham Asylum, or at least fixed to a point where I couldn't tell the difference. Um, but Arkham Asylum definitely feels very, very primitive once you play Arkham City.
Yeah.
So, because Arkham City is phenomenal. Like, the leaps and bounds
That's like
between Arkham Asylum and Arkham City is astronomical.
yeah.
Like, incorporating gadgets into combat. Like, additionally, like, using your gadgets for different things in stealth. Like, just more gadgets overall. So many gadgets.
Oh yeah.
And, just
Mm-hmm.
everything about Arkham City is like, why did they even change the way the game played?
Yeah.
Like, why the hell would they even do it?
Hey, what do you think about just like the general combat in Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight, I think, has the best like hand-to-hand combat and stealth in the series. It's unfortunately weighed down by the fact that you don't do a lot of it. Like, you don't
Yeah.
do a lot of the hand-to-hand combat. Arkham Knight is a very stealth-heavy and very tank-heavy game. The hand-to-hand combat just feels like it's almost not there.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
How could they how could have they made the Arkham Knight final boss fight better? Do you think?
Well, the final boss fight I think was fine. Like, when you're just going up against Jason Todd, I think that's fine. Like,
Uh,
I would have
yeah.
preferred, like, if you had like two stealth segments. Like have a stealth segment for the first health bar, and then give him a second health bar, and then literally just repeat the Deathstroke boss fight from Arkham Origins.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
thinking.
just 100%,
Yeah.
that is the single best boss fight in that entire series. Like no, like bar none, best boss fight. I remember when I first got the game and I brought it over to your house and I got to Deathstroke and then we did that boss fight like 7 or 8 times in a row
Yeah.
because it was just that cool. And I was
Oh
like, I
yeah.
want to
Like,
see how crazy like these counter battles can get, and like what kind of cool stuff I can do to him. I've never felt that in another Arkham boss fight, and it's ridiculous.
it is pretty cool how you can like flip them and stuff, and you
Yeah,
have
you
the
can
covers.
flip him. He like counters your gadgets. Like,
Yeah.
and if
Yeah.
you
Like
counter him, he'll counter you. So you have to counter his counter. Oh, it's so good. I even don't mind the what's it called, the martial artist enemies, which were the same thing. They were just mini Deathstroke boss fights. But of course, those don't exist in Arkham Knight. Like, it really infuriates me that Arkham Origins didn't get much right, but the things it did get right, they ignored in Arkham Knight. You know what I mean? Hello? Dylan? Oh, you there?
yeah.
Okay, I think you just died for a minute.
Oops.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying is what the Arkham Origins didn't get a lot right. A lot of there was a lot of like steps backwards, but there was really great steps forward. The martial artist felt like a very natural addition to the game. Like have enemies who can counter
You can
your
counter you.
counters,
Yeah.
and then you have to like get into counter battles with them. That felt good. It felt good. It looked cool. It didn't ruin the gameplay.
Yeah.
What does ruin the gameplay is lunatics, tank gameplay, the fucking medics.
Oh.
God, those guys suck.
Yeah. If you
Uh,
prioritize
the
it.
mini gunners suck pretty bad too. Like,
Oh.
why do we have mini bosses in stealth sections now? This is bullshit.
Yeah. That doesn't.
Makes no
Yeah, it doesn't
sense.
make. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Like the whole
You,
point of
you have to
the
like
like,
find a mini
and
boss.
that's not saying there weren't good stealth boss fights. There was Deadshot and Two Face in Arkham City. Those were
But
good stealth boss fights.
the thing is, like dead, goes to like
Okay, you know what? If we're
mostly.
gonna talk about good stealth boss fights, Deadshot's boss fight in Arkham Origins was also pretty great. Because you had to use your detective vision to see where he was aiming, because he could bounce his shots off of walls
Yeah,
and get like
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
angles on you. And like it was really intense. I actually super liked it. It was probably one of the better. It was probably one of the best stealth boss fights. I think that Arkham Origins got boss fights right, where the rest of the Arkham series kind of struggles. Because like Grundy is
Yeah.
kind of just a meh boss fight, other than the spectacle. Like it looks cool, but eh.
Huh. Plus,
Ra's al Ghul was a fantastic boss fight. I love that shit because it's like super trippy, it's super surreal, and you're fighting. It gets a little bit of Deathstroke.
oh, so
Yeah, there's like
counters.
a little bit of a counter like system going on. Killer Croc in Arkham Asylum is a terrible boss fight. It is so awful.
You're just like crouching the entire way.
Yeah, because if you run, you die.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's literally
It's like
It's literally an auto scroller.
yeah. Like you're forced to move slowly for a long period of time.
And then mash
And
the
then,
A button for like 30 seconds.
yeah.
Like
Then it's
Killer
like
Croc
slow
is probably the
battering.
lowest point of Arkham Asylum. Uh, The
In a
highest
bad
point of
way.
Arkham Asylum. No, no, the final boss of Arkham Asylum is the lowest point. I think
Oh
it's
really?
safe to say
Mm.
that that is the worst boss fight with the Joker in any Batman game
What? Yeah,
because
with
it's
the Joker.
literally just Bane
Yeah,
again.
it's just yeah, and it's just like fighting a bunch of guys.
And then you
Just
land
willy
9
nilly.
punches on the Joker and bust his shit.
Yeah. You just,
Like,
like first part of the boss fight is just Joker clumsily flailing at you.
yeah. Like they're like
Like it's
Arkham Asylum struggles pretty hard on boss fights. Arkham City does better, but there's still some like the Mr.
yeah.
Freeze boss fight is probably the best boss fight in Arkham City if you know what you're doing because it's really cool. Like if you're good at Arkham City stealth mechanics, Mr. Freeze's boss fight is the best one. Like hands down. Because you have to use stealth mechanics and you have to like lure him into different locations and you cannot hit him with the same move twice.
Oh, so like
It literally doesn't work. If you beat him with an option once, he will remove it from the rest of the boss fight.
oh, so wait, you mean he breaks your weapons and
No,
gadgets?
hit like you use the remote electric charge to drag his suit in with an electromagnetic pulse to a generator to stun him. He freezes over the generator. You can't use it anymore.
Oh wow, so it's
I like
adaptive.
you'd get him with a window takedown. He freezes the windows over. So
Man.
now you can't punch through them.
So he's like slowly
Yeah,
destroying all the
you can do a
optics.
ceiling takedown, but there's only one area to do it, so you can't do it twice. You do a corner takedown. He puts a shield around his legs so that if you try to do a corner takedown, it hurts you.
Oh man.
And
So
then yeah,
you can actually like die doing a quarter takedown.
yeah, it's like super cool.
Wow.
Granted,
Yeah,
it
that's
like there's just
interesting.
enough jank left in Arkham City for like some of the things not to work right, but I
Yeah.
think it's definitely like one of the best boss fights. It was so good, in fact, that they literally ripped it for for the DLC in Arkham Origins. They literally just ripped that whole boss fight. I think he disappeared again.
Um.
Oh,
Oh, what did you say?
the Mr. Freeze boss fight was so good they ripped it for Arkham Origins. They literally just took it and put it in that game.
Oh yeah.
For the DLC. Uh, but yeah, I think Arkham Origins definitely has the best boss fights. It even has the best Bane boss fight because it literally
Oh.
is like you cannot physically beat this man in a fight. You need to trick him.
Yeah. Oh wait, is that the one where like there's a stealth section with Bane?
Yeah, you have to literally stealth your way around Bane.
Like, and if he finds you, like
He
insta
just
kills
like
you or something?
just beats the hell. No, I think you take like a quarter health or something.
Oh god.
I
It's
think he
like
also does ballistic damage with his fists
yeah, it's
because he
crazy.
just punches that hard.
He's like machine gun blow.
Yeah, like he's actually it's actually a really fun boss fight. I think like definitely the people at WB Games who I think it was WB Montreal who made Arkham Origins. They knew the mechanics of the game. I
Yeah.
think the only thing they didn't quite understand was level layout, and even then, only sometimes. Like I think the open world thing is where they really struggled because when Arkham Origins is focused into like a story mission, it's
Uh-huh.
usually pretty good. Like when you have to track down Penguin, you like that's a great level. Like usually the story missions for Arkham Origins are great. It's just like the open world is littered with just death. Like actually just littered with death. It gets really bad later on. Like the police are sniping at you. The
Oh
Blackgate
yeah.
inmates are sniping at you. Sometimes both of them are sniping at you.
Shoot, shoot, you
Uh,
just cut out for me
Am I back?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, the police are sniping at you, the
The
inmates are
inmates.
sniping at you, sometimes both.
Um,
Sometimes you get targeted with a lock-on rocket launcher for no fucking reason. I
oh
don't know. Was
God.
that in Arkham Origins? I don't know. I don't own that game anymore.
Wait a minute. So they're lock on like
I don't know. I think that
rockets?
might be an Arkham Knight thing. Arkham
Hmm,
Knight
no
really
worries.
did at the end start feeling like Arkham Origins in the open world, where it's just like there's so much shit trying to stop you.
Then there are the flying drones that just like
Yeah,
spray you.
like Arkham Knight disappointingly had the worst open world because it just didn't use the same map layout.
Yeah.
It's like how it's really weird in Saints Row 3 because you're just not in Steelport anymore. And the map was the same for the last 2 games. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, there you are.
Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It automatically muted itself, I think.
But yeah, you heard what I said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
it's
Saints
not
Row
the same
3
map.
is like it's weird because they use the same map for 2 games and then they just do Saints Row 3 and then it's just a completely different map. And then Saints Row 4 just uses that map again.
Yeah. But
Like there's only 2 cities in Saints Row and it's really weird.
yeah.
It's not like GTA where like they do like they cycle through like 3 or 4 cities.
Yeah.
Because like they do Vice City, they do San Andreas, and they do Liberty City.
Yeah.
And technically GTA 5 is only one part of San Andreas. It's just Los Santos.
Yeah. Like yeah, in Saints Row is like Stillwater and
It's Stillwater and fucking city from Saints Row 3.
yeah. I don't even know what the name of that one is.
Doesn't matter. Cars mean nothing in that game.
Just
Or
run
no,
up the
Saints Row
wall.
4 cars mean nothing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Saints Row 4 it leaned too hard into crazy. Like I
Yeah.
love that it leaned that far into its crazy, but I think it went too far in Saints Row 4. Oh no, that's not true. There's a third city in Saints Row because they literally modeled hell. Or was that just Saints Row 3 and 4 map again, but with hell?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like
Because Get Out of Hell.
oh. Wasn't that like not too good though? Trevor?
Let me see. Let me look it up.
Sorry.
Reception.
Okay.
It's got like 7s and 8s.
Oh. Okay.
Da 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 da.
That was not good. or
Plot.
something.
Alright. Yeah, da da da. Ultor Corporate. Yeah, no, I think it's like a new city.
Oh.
Oh boy. Yeah. Uh. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, what happened?
Agents of Mayhem is canon? What? Oh god, no. Because that means Get Out of Hell is canon and they just undo Saints Row.
Oh.
Go to heaven and be reunited
Was
with
this game just
Aisha.
kind of average? Or,
Agents of Mayhem, I think, is dead.
oh.
Reception,
Is it got kind
6s,
of like-
7s, 4,
kind of
5.
bad,
Dude, IGN gave it a 7.1. Polygon gave it a 5. That's how you know a game's
Alright.
bad. Polygon gave it a 5. Polygon hired a guy who couldn't use both of his thumbs at once to play Doom 2016. Have you ever seen that video?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so there's this fantastic video. Look up the Polygon Doom review, and it is hilarious because this guy could not move and aim at the same time. And I think he was playing on PC, which is like a million times easier to play Doom on. Like, I played
Yeah.
Doom on console, and I did alright. And Doom on consoles is hell. It's really rough. Because you're like nerfing your own accuracy. It's pretty brutal. Nerfing your
Yeah.
accuracy in Doom is not a thing especially in Doom Eternal. That is not a thing you want to do.
Do you like try and play like cover to cover?
No. He would like walk forward a few steps, then slowly swing the gun around. Like he'd stop while he was moving his gun, and I'm like, oh my lord. And then
Oh,
there's
God.
the famous one of the Cuphead review.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Apparently someone was like was joking around like, oh, this tutorial is so hard, and he actually glitched through the wall. He teleported through the wall, and he
Okay.
actually like beat the tutorial without doing it right.
Yeah. Oh.
God, Cuphead's a great game.
Yeah. Was it like IGN that were the?
I think it was
best-
IGN for Cuphead, and it was definitely Polygon for Doom. It was definitely Polygon.
Oh man, yeah.
Like
Sounds great.
those were both within like 2 years of each other too.
Yeah. I'm gonna definitely have a look at that one. It sounds hilarious. It was just like.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
How not to play Doom 2016 Polygon Edition.
No, I
Man.
can- I'm not. So, Versa, this is how you don't play for Polygon.
Yeah. Someone today asked me how I know I'm alive, and my response was, well, Darkside Phil and Maximilian Dude both exist at the time of speaking, and wherever I go when I die, one of the two wouldn't.
Yeah.
So either if I go to heaven, Maximilian Dude will be there, and I'll never have to think about Darkside Phil again. If I go to hell, I will never hear about Maximilian Dude again, and my timeline will just be Darkside Phil and Low Tier God.
Yep.
Like, what bothers me the most is Low Tier God isn't even like bad at fighting games. He's just an asshole.
Yeah,
He just thinks he's way better than he is. Is he better than me at Street Fighter? Yes, because I didn't grow up playing Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I
mean,
grew up playing
like, the thing
Smash.
The thing is, he's good, but he's not like amazing good.
He's one of those people who would show up to Maximilian Dude's stream, get bodied in a first to 5, go 0-5, and then block Maximilian Dude.
Yeah. Guy just blocks anyone
Who beats him?
Just-
Yeah.
like.
Listen,
you know,
eventually he'll go up in rank if everyone worse than him just isn't allowed to play with him,
yeah,
or
like,
if everyone better than him isn't allowed to play. Eventually, he'll just win games.
if you even like slightly like scrape your finger across his ego, like he just like remove like just destroys all contact with you.
Yeah, it's real, including if you're a moderator in his chat. Like
Yeah.
there's a video how to deal with Low Tier God's playstyle, because he had one of his chat mods beat him in a best of 5, and
Yeah.
he banned him from the chat room and cut off all contacts. So the dude just spent like 40 minutes shitting on LTG and telling him and explaining why he's bad at Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Also, there was the esports challengers thing, and they put Low Tier God in, and he just got his shit rocked. Like
Oh, boy.
episode one, he got his ass beat. It was great. I like Low tier God seems like the kind of guy who, like, yeah, is he good at fighting games? Yes. He has the potential. Like, you can see it. Occasionally he pulls out some real hotness. Like, oh, that was actually kind of sick. But then he
Yeah.
follows it
Oh,
up
yeah.
with just absolute scrub play for like he kind of plays Snake correctly. Yes, run away, pull grenades, but that's ignoring the fact that Snake has like the second best dash attack in like all of Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
Like
The thing is,
possibly
like,
even the best. It is a Snake's dash attack is astoundingly good.
yeah.
I don't know why the fuck Sakurai gave the best dash attack in Smash Ultimate to a character who doesn't want to approach.
The
But
thing
you
is,
know
like,
what? Snake has approach options.
Yeah. The thing is, like, locals like that, like, will always like continue to get attention. From, like,
Yeah.
the YouTube community.
And
Yeah,
he'll keep
trolls.
getting money because people will pay him $50 to play 2 games of Smash with him and beat
So
him
you can
and then
ban
get
him.
banned permanently from the stream.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not about to try and do that. Would it make for some interesting content? Yes. Am I gonna do it? No. Why would
They
I ever
actually-
subject myself to that shit?
Yeah.
Why would I pay for that?
They're like the cultists, and then they're just the people that don't care.
Yeah, also low tier gods like trying to start a cult. Are we gonna talk about that?
I think you are like you already like YouTubers like that already like have a cult.
Yeah, no,
Like,
but like he
unintentionally.
actually believes that he is genetically superior.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
I've seen
like
those videos.
look up. I need to find a video about like low tier gods like belief system. It's super fucked up. He believes that he is genetically superior to everyone else on the planet,
Yeah.
and it is really bizarre.
Feels like like he has the right amount of like testosterone or something.
Yeah, like he believes that like he literally just believes that he is in fact better than everyone else, despite the fact there is video of him getting completely obliterated in Street Fighter V by a man with the use of one arm.
Yeah.
Like, shoutouts to Broly Legs. That dude's actually like a hero. He's like a top like 50
pretty
Street Fighter
cool.
V player, and he only has like use of one arm in his face.
Literally like
That guy's a
yeah,
hero.
He beat him using his mouth.
He literally plays Street Fighter. Like you guys need to look at this. This dude plays Street Fighter with a like PS4 Xbox 360 controller with his mouth. It's
Yeah.
really impressive to watch. Like this man can do combos with his mouth that I will never be able to do if I had 2 extra arms. Like the dude's actually like super crazy awesome. I love Broly Legs. Possibly one of my favorite Street Fighter players. Like obviously Daigo. Well, you're muted again, I think.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, but Broly Legs, absolute
oh, wait,
hero.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Broly Legs, absolute hero. Oh, Viscount.
Oh, Viscount.
Dude,
yeah.
the Viscount beef was so funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you see that they actually did do a run back because Low Tier God got salty about people in his chat bringing up Viscount,
Yeah.
and Viscount just
Fine.
obliterated him again.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah,
the
they did
second
another.
one?
They did another set. And Viscount destroyed him.
Like, wasn't it like first like he was getting beaten, but like then he kind of caught on to like his pattern. And then
That's the thing. If you ever play like, even against like a semi-pro player, if you ever play like 3 or 4 games against them, they will turn that shit around so fast. Like,
Yeah.
it's really interesting. That's why I watch Maximilian Dude, because he figures things out so fast because he was a competitive player. He was at Evo for like Street Fighter 4 and stuff.
Yeah.
He was really, really good. And he's still like really damn good. To the point where Capcom like works directly with him sometimes. He also edited all of the trailers for Killer Instinct.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that guy is pretty important to the fighting game community, and whether or not you like that is a little irrelevant. Because like it or not, at least he's promoting like a positive thing where he'd rather worse characters get buffed rather than better characters get nerfed,
Yeah.
which I'm also a fan of. Like, we don't need to nerf things that aren't inherently like game destroyingly insane. So
Yeah.
like I don't necessarily like Smash 4 Sheik.
Mhm.
Why the hell they nerfed her between Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, I will never know.
Yeah.
Uh like but I thought she was kind of fine because yeah, was she like one of the best characters? Yeah. But she was hard as shit to use. But like now Sheik's just bad. Just really bad. Um so I don't know why they did that, but well, no, Sheik's not really bad. Sheik's just kind of mid tier right now. Uh Sheik's all right, but like I'd rather characters like Little Mac get more options to catch up with the better characters rather than taking options away from the better characters to bring them in line with the worst characters.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, adding depth to a fighting game only makes it better. Like adding variety
Well, yeah.
only ever makes a game better. Like specifically a fighting game. That's not necessarily true. Throwing a turret segment into a game that doesn't need them doesn't make the game better.
Yeah.
It almost always makes the game worse.
Yeah, like it definitely depends on like the change in the context.
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
like
of the game.
adding depth to a fighting game usually only makes it better. There fighting games I wouldn't want to add a depth added to? Yes, I do not want to have FADCs added into dive kick. I don't want crazy tech being put into dive kick. What? No, that's not what that game is about. Dive
Yeah.
kick is like the ultimate like of basic games. It literally has two buttons. It is jump and it has kick. Those are the only two buttons in the entire game. There
Yeah,
there are
it's-
there are meter moves, but that is literally just pressing dive and kick at the same time. Like there's two buttons, and the game's great. It's really fun. I think it has side events at Evo.
just like dive
Yeah.
kick.
Although I think my favorite side event at Evo every year is the Sailor Moon fighting game,
Huh.
because that game is a fucking mess and it's lovely. Like you know how once in a while you get hit with something in a fighting game and you're just like, wow, that did way too much damage.
Yeah.
In
Oh
the
yeah.
Sailor Moon fighting game, there are supers that do 75% damage on block. You lose 75% of your
God.
health for blocking the super. And if you
So,
don't block the super, you take
you
less
come back.
damage.
Wait, what?
The game is
Punishes
such a
you.
disaster, and it's so good. I love it. Also, Sailor
Yes.
Uranus has like Akuma's teleport put insane.
Yeah.
Because like she's the only character in the game who can dash backwards, and she does
Yeah.
it via Akuma teleport, and she can literally dash across the screen like in 12 frames. It's glorious. It's so fun to watch. Like I'll have to send you clips. It is a hysterical fighting game where just nothing makes sense. Like why does that work that way? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why does this character's supers do twice as much damage if you block them? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That game is so funny. I love it.
Yeah, it sounds.
It's like there's another great one. Dong Dong Never Die. Oh, that game is beautiful. There are just straight up infinites in that game, and it's wonderful. Also, Mario is in that game, just straight up Mario, but he has Akuma's moveset.
What the
Yeah, he throws mushrooms as Hadokens.
Oh man.
There's
Sounds
characters
hilarious.
who just rip moves from other games. Like, there's characters who rip moves from King of Fighters. There's characters who rip shit from like Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful mess. One character has a move where they recover health and they're invincible during it.
Yeah.
They literally just sit there, they open up their shirt, and they just start rubbing their nipples, and they become invincible and
Oh,
regain like half their health.
no.
It's like that is out of control. I'll send you. Maximilian Dude and his friends played it a couple years back, and it was like super funny.
For nipples.
Yeah, it's really great. It's a Chinese like Mugen game.
Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds
it's so
weird.
beautiful. It also is like also kind of a Mortal Kombat clone because it uses digitized actors as sprites. It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, listen, a bad fighting game can be better than a good one, and I think there's no
Yeah.
better example of that than Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is my favorite fighting game, but by no means does that game make any goddamn sense.
It'd definitely be like, it could definitely be like a lot more fun too.
Oh, no, Marvel vs.
The
Capcom
series
2 is
too.
horrendously unbalanced. It is horrifically unbalanced. That game is not fair. Iron Man has a 3-button infinite that for some reason only stops working after 59 hits.
Oh wow.
Like there's a really famous video called Iron Man MVC2 Infinite Tutorial. First you jump up, then diagonal, then up. Ah!
What the?
The motherfucker drops after 59 hits. Oh god, someone modded what's it called? MVCI to just add that guy's voice clips over Iron Man.
Oh,
Medium punch into super. Ah! There's a mod for MVCI to put that guy's the clips from that video over Iron Man's voice in Marvel
That
vs.
sounds-
Capcom Infinite. Medium punch into ultra. Ah!
That's good.
It's so funny. It's very famous.
Man, it just becomes like a shit posting game.
Yeah, it really Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was playing that game recently and I was like, this game's fucking stupid, man.
Yeah.
Like it is not right the things you can do in that game. Ah, yes, one of the characters has a 16 hit quarter circle punch. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's not even get into like the disaster that is Cyclops and the Cyclops in that game. He has a 1-button Hadoken.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh god.
If you press like
what?
medium
No,
punch,
I remember
yeah,
this.
yeah, we were playing MVC2,
game.
and I just kept oppressing you with Cyclops.
That was the game with like we were saying, I'm gonna take you for a ride.
I'm gonna take you for a ride. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Capcom presents. Dude, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is gonna be at EVO this year.
It really is.
It is, yeah. They
hear
cut
that.
Mortal Kombat 11 for Marvel. It's Marvel 2020, baby.
Yeah.
God, I love Marvel vs. Capcom. It's a shame that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite sucked like 13 penises. It was a bad game. It was bad. Well, no, the gameplay was great. Everything else was bad.
Yeah.
But oh well. What can you do?
Then there's what was that game called? Like that Maximilian Dude played. It was like Biofreaks.
Biofreak, dude. There's so many bad fighting games. I love them. Biofreaks. You know what's really weird? Biofreaks is like a knockoff of Mortal Kombat made by the same company that made Mortal Kombat. What? It was published by Midway. The same company that published Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Why did they make another one? There's a video.
Well, keep in mind they published, the game.
They owned it. The only reason Warner Brothers owns Mortal Kombat now is because Midway literally went bankrupt after Mortal Kombat versus DC. And DC was like, yeah, we'll buy Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Literally just brought the entire Mortal Kombat team over to make NetherRealm.
Yeah.
Who, God, the Mortal Kombat story was interesting in Mortal Kombat 9 and has gotten progressively worse. Oh boy. They wrote themselves into such a fucking corner in MKX, they literally started over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the end of MK11, they literally just give up and say start again. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll have to wait until Injustice 3 is over to find out.
Yeah.
Because
I
that,
don't know what's going on with that.
yeah, Injustice also has got its own problems. But
Yep.
yeah, so that was a good talk about gaming.
Yep.
The current
Good talk.
gaming, the current status of gaming in
There's a lot of-
like the industry right now. Everything's kind of messed up right now because of COVID-19.
Oh yeah, like it's.
I implore
like,
everyone
obviously-
who watches, please, please, please stay inside. Stay inside. Don't go out unless you have to. If you have to, wear gloves, wear a mask, stay safe. Because someone at the Walmart right near us just died today. Someone who worked at the Walmart right by us today, like literally less than a mile from my house, just died from coronavirus today.
What department did she work? Was she like?
Well, it was Walmart, right there, the one right there, man. What do you mean, what department?
Like she was front end, right? Or
I don't know. She worked at the store, and they just died of coronavirus, which is like, that's really close to my house. That it was apparently caught.
yeah. 'Cause,
So
like, you know, like people like who constantly deal with the public are like at the greatest risk, I think.
yeah. But yeah, please, please,
Yeah,
please stay inside, wash your hands, social distancing. The only way that coronavirus is gonna stop is if we literally make it stop. The amount of people who don't take this shit seriously is infuriating. Like, this shit didn't need to happen, man. Donald Trump wasted 70 days. I'm not talking about politics. No, but literally, like, America's like doing the worst at stopping this shit. We're awful at this shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're a country founded on breaking the rules, so why would we follow them now? All right. Anyway, that'll do it for this episode of the Soda Fountain. Like and favorite if you enjoy. Subscribe for more. This has been almost 2 hours. Oh, I'm cutting out.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. At least everything on my end, everything I just said, just at least is getting recorded on my end. Because I'm just wrapping up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any last words of wisdom, Mr. Sierra Mist?
Don't drink the Corona Kool-Aid.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? I'm looking at you, Robert Mitchell. I know you'll watch all the way through. You'll be the only person to ever watch this whole video. Alright. Well, that'll be all, I guess. That's the end.
Alright.
Alright, later.
Bye-bye.